Dixon with today's Verizon IndyCar Series post-qualifying press conference, joined now by Scott Dixon, who matches his best start here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, with second, driving the number 9 NTT Data Honda for Chip Ganassi Racing. Scott, obviously a very active qualifying and a really good showing for Honda. What did you take away from qualifying going into tomorrow's race?
Yeah, I think the car's been strong. Pretty much like St. Pete. As soon as we rolled off, we've changed very few things. Not like in the past sometimes with everything but the kitchen sink. So it's been nice to know and know what to expect every time you get in the car, and I think that's definitely helped the performance. For us, our biggest struggle has actually been the red tyres. The car, I think every session we've been on blacks. Even yesterday's afternoon session until we went to reds, we were very strong. So we're still just trying to work out how to get the most out of the reds right now. But qualifying second's great spot to start. I think our cars typically are very good on the long run. So I think we have a great shot at competing for the race win tomorrow, and hopefully that's the case for all 4 Ganassi cars.
And competing for that race win, you are a race winner here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. What does it take to be successful in the race here, a very tricky track?
Yes, it's definitely a tough one. I think I raced here for maybe 12 or 14 years before I got my first victory here, so maybe not the track that is most suited to what we've done, but 2 years ago and 15 winning the race, and then almost winning last year, coming up with a second place finish, and having another strong car this weekend. It depends. I think the street courses, the toughest part is strategy, and as we saw at St. Pete, can be flipped very easily. So you have to be somewhat aggressive and somewhat cautious on how you approach the race. Instead of maybe going for the win, sometimes you have to be being on the safe side and maybe settling for a podium. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. I think the fuel window is going to be quite aggressive just because they added 5 laps. Last year was already quite tight on fuel. So tomorrow, adding 5 laps is going to make it, a fuel save if people are trying to go for a 2-stopper. So a much more defined 2-stop to a 3-stop race, which will be interesting to see how that plays out. And for us, if it's a 2-stop, should be really good.
Questions for Scott, and we do have a wireless mic right here. We'll start with Matt and then Lewis.
I'm Matt Weaver with Auto Week. 2 weeks ago at St. Pete, after the race was over, you were a little miffed after the caution that came out and flipped the order like you had talked about. So now another street course race where track position is going to be a premium. Do you feel like you got better clarification for what warrants a caution when there is kind of debris laid on the track? Should that happen again tomorrow?
It's a hard one. I understand where they're coming from. You got to err on the side of safety. I think for us, we just always look for consistency. I remember 2 years ago here, we had a piece of debris that stayed on the front stretch for the whole race and never went down. So it's you're always going to be angry after the race if it doesn't go your way. We're all competitive people, and St. Pete for us, I think we had a really strong car, and had a great shot at possibly winning. But it is what it is. It generally cycles out, and for us it was for everybody at Honda, I think it was an exceptional race for them, and obviously congrats to Bordeaux on that victory. But I don't think it's something that can really be changed. I know in IMSA when I race over there, they zone in on that piece and maybe have a caution or a debris flag there, but they give normally 2 to 5 laps to let everybody maybe take a pit stop, depending on how much on the racing line it is. But it's each time it's different, so it's not something that's easy for them to call.
Lewis?
Frank of Reuters. Lap times did drop, as the sessions went on. Are you surprised no one got into the 105s, though?
It's each. I think this year was exceptionally different just because we went after the IMSA race. I think Group 1 definitely struggled a little bit to get up to speed. When you got different rubber going down, it's quite tough. And each year the tyres change anyway, and Firestone did a fantastic job, every year. And maybe it's just a different compound or something, but the cars, we're right now, obviously we're in an aero sort of freeze, so there's no development going on there. think Honda's done a superb job on the engine, lots of power, and I think we've seen the move from them. But it was kind of cool today, I think, so that the tyre was maybe a little bit out of its operating window, and with the blacks especially, it took a long time for them to come in. The reds maybe a little bit better, but I think at the end there, if you kept running maybe another 2 or 3 laps, I think that the pace would have picked up.
Other questions for Scott? Scott, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Scott Dixon starting second in tomorrow's race.
You got off scot-free almost.
That's right.
Sorry. Man, this guy.